Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Monday morning, March 30th, and we're starting our digital learning again. Wish I could see your faces and yeah, see how everybody's doing, see how tired you are from your spring break. Obviously, I look a little different. Um, Part of our spring break included members of my family taking turns cutting my beard, so now it's gone. So I'm gonna start from scratch, I guess. Anyway, so I wanted to just do a couple things with you all this morning before we got started. I had some reflections over spring break, and I just wanted to share those with you. Um, I know that this digital learning and social distancing thing is new for us, but I think it's super important. I've only gone out a couple times myself, um, once to Walmart and once to actually VHS parking lot to ride bikes with my daughters. And there are a lot of people out, a lot of people out. And so I just wanted to encourage you to take this stuff seriously and minimize your contact. Really, you should just be spending time with your immediate family, whoever you live with. Otherwise, it's going to spread and it's going to get bad. And it may not be severe for you necessarily, but someone you know, or maybe someone you don't know that you interact with could be harmed in a significant way. So uh, take care of yourself. Make sure that you're staying away from people. I know that's a hard thing to do, and take advantage of the fact that you live in an extremely digital age. Anyway, so that's the first thing, spring break reflection. Second thing is the longer I spend at home, kind of trying to find a rhythm with my family, the more selfish I think I've become. So I wanted to encourage you all to just be mindful of that. Are you getting more selfish? Are you wanting to make more things about you? Um, I think that with the change and with the concentrated time together, it's super easy to just start fighting for yourself because there's a little or minimal time and space that is actually yours. So I think that's important. So I would just encourage you to be mindful of that. I'm certainly trying to be more selfless, and we're trying to structure our time together so that everybody has room to breathe and some stretching room and just some special time to themselves. But being quarantined and being isolated with your immediate family can be tough. So really work on you. Um, and that brings me to my last spring break reflection, which is self discipline. It's so easy. I've been eating a ton and enjoying it and not exercising as much and doing a whole lot of vegging. So last night I was just kind of reflecting on my spring break and the week before and decided I'm going to start doing something that I deemed important. And I called it No Media Monday. So after I'm finished with work today, and hopefully every Monday that we're distanced from one another, I'm just going to turn off all media devices. So no TV on Mondays for me. Probably no cell phone stuff at night. Just really want to disconnect and make sure that I'm not letting my entire time where I'm socially distanced be consumed with consumption of any kind, right? So whether that's food or media or um, whatever, just be mindful of how much time you're spending. Be balanced. So tonight, and hopefully every Monday evening, I'm going to just turn off all electronics and just spend time reading some books, maybe doing some just quiet sitting on the back porch, um, just trying to be balanced. So no media Monday. If you'd like to join me with that, that'd be awesome. I would love to hear about your experiences. Sometimes the quiet is intimidating because we don't sit in the quiet very often. Anyway, hope you guys had a good spring break. Hopefully you didn't spend a lot of time with a lot of people. Hopefully you're with your immediate family, taking this coronavirus stuff seriously so that we can hopefully slow the spread as is being said in so many places, and then hopefully protect those that we love and care about, and then also help um, slow the consumption of resources in our medical world because it's super important, and there are so many more people that need medical care than just those with coronavirus. So we don't want to overwhelm the system so much that we run out of resources. Anyway, hope you're well. So let's jump in. Today is just going to kind of be a jump back in slowly day. We're going to do some more practicing solving quadratic equations by factoring. So I'm going to jump off the screen here so that you can see the work that I'm doing over here. All right, so this is what we're doing. All right, there's not going to be a ton of it, but the questions that I'm going to upload, it's on this document right here, solving quadratic equations by factoring. The ones that I have circled are the ones that you need to do and submit. Okay, so this will be your assignment, and there are only 8 questions. Okay, so 8 questions for 48 hours worth of work, I think is more than generous. So make sure you get this done. I'm just going to work a couple of these as a reminder. If you will look back at our lesson 7.2, it was the zero product property. It was the one that said if 2 things get multiplied together and their product or the answer is 0, then one of these 2 things has to be 0, or both of them. So I'm just going to briefly refresh you on solving quadratic equations by factoring. All right, so if these 2, when they multiply together, give you 0, then they both or 1 have to be 0. So I'm going to say k plus 1 equals 0. And then I'm also going to say k minus 5 equals 0. So we've solved a lot of these equations. To solve, you isolate the variable by doing the inverse operation. So the value of k here is -1. And if we solve this one, we would add 5 to both sides. K equals 5. All right, so we've got 2 solutions. So if I graphed whatever this looks like when it's in standard form, it would cross the x-axis at these 2 points. Okay? I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to do number 8 for you. So I would encourage you to write these examples down on your paper before you start the 8 problems that I'm assigning. Okay. So this is not in standard form. Remember, standard form is a x squared plus b times x plus c, right? So I need to move this thing over here so that my standard equation can be equal to 0. All right, so I'm going to subtract 6. Obviously, the 6 is taken away from the 12 because it's not like terms with these. All right, so we've got n squared plus 3n, and then those 2 combined make minus 18. All right, now 0 is over there. All right, so now this is the a times c equals, so a is 1, c is -18, so the product of those 2 is -18. Now we're going to list factors that multiply together to get -18 and that add together to get 3. So 2 and 9, 3 and 6, and it's going to be these. All right, the 3 here is positive, so we're going to want the 6 to be positive because 6 take away 3 is positive 3. All right, we have our 2 factors. So we've got n squared minus 3n plus 6n minus 18 equals 0. And now we're going to factor the front binomial and the back binomial. So we've got n minus 3, right, because these only share an n. And then n minus 3 has to be over here because they always have to be the same. So if I want this 6n to become regular n by itself, I've got to take out this 6. So I'm going to divide out 6, and then -18 divided by 6 is -3. All right, the last step here is n plus 6 and n minus 3 equals 0. And now we're exactly where we started, right? Here's the zero product property. If these 2 things multiply together to get 0, then one or both have to be 0. All right, so n plus 6 equals 0, and then n minus 3 equals 0. So minus 6 on both sides gives me n equals negative 6. And then add 3 on both sides gives me n equals 3. All right, so I'm going to show this to you on the calculator. I have put in, let me see if I can change this. It's hard to see. All right, that's not very good. Let me play with this just for a second. Sorry about that. Okay, perfect. So the light helps. All right, so you've got x squared plus 3x minus 18. That's what we got here. If I go graph this, all right, notice the two places on the graph at negative 6 and at positive 3. These are our two x-intercepts, or our roots. All right, also, come down here. Remember, we're solving this quadratic equation by factoring. Well, we factored it, and then we solved for these factors. So we got n equals negative 6, which is this point right here. And then the other intercept is n equals 3, which is this. Now, n, most of the time we use x's. So in this case, it's n, but on the calculator, it's always x. So practice these 8 questions on this sheet. And then make sure you get these submitted. You will get a grade for this. The exit ticket, make sure you do that so that you get counted present within the next 48 hours. I would, again, recommend doing the work for A day on A day and the work for B day on B day, just to keep up with your stuff, all right? So we're doing this for a minimum of 3 more weeks. So it's important that you keep up with your stuff, okay? Again, my office hours are from 9 to 10:30, so I'll be on my computer during that time. If you have questions, fill out that Google form for the Q&A, and I'll answer them there. And then last thing, just a couple of reminders. All right, here were my spring break reflections. All right, selfishness. Don't let our time apart and your time with your family, no matter what your circumstance is. I know sometimes family can be tough. All right, but don't let your life drift toward this. All right, you want to drift toward less of self. Okay? Minimize your contact with people. Really, this should just be your immediate family. All right, take this thing seriously. I think it's easy for younger folks to not take it seriously. So you shouldn't be hanging out with your friends or people outside of your home. Otherwise, this thing's going to spread. You could be a carrier long before you knew you had it and spread it to a bunch of people. All right. And then the last thing that I encourage you to join me in, this is just one night a week, but I'm going to disconnect. I'm going to be present in other ways, engage my wife and my kids fully undistracted. We're going to do games. And then I'm going to try to do some reading that I've been wanting to do for a long time, but I just let so much of my time go by with respect to vegging and streaming stuff. So I'm going to disconnect here. I'd love for you to join me. I think there's so much value in this. And if you do join me, I would encourage you to share with me your experience, because I'd love to hear just how hard it is and the things you learn about yourself. All right, guys, have a great Monday/Tuesday, and I will see you all Wednesday. I'm super excited to be back. Again, I wish I could see your faces. And some of you probably won't be up for a while. So happy Monday. Welcome back. Hope you had a great spring break. And I'm looking forward to interacting with you. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.